not wonderful we're being delayed here at the border?
Give thanks to God. The Lord is with us. What can a mere man do to me?
I will come back to you!
We come in humility and brokenness to repent for the sins of the leaders in Africa, and in particular, the sin of selling our own brothers and sisters into slavery.
I'm your God now.
This great sin brought untold pain and misery to millions of people of African descent, and judgment to the African people who remained on the continent. If it were not for the part that our African kings and chiefs played in the slave trade, this evil trade could not have survived. Therefore, on behalf of all the African leaders, past and present, all of them, I acknowledge the part that we played in this tragedy, and today we ask for forgiveness.
That's Uganda's President Yoweri Museveni apologizing to black diaspora. But honestly, is that enough? Can't African states do more for its black family across the world? Will Smith's emancipation starts off this commentary, and it's a very telling story about the sheer will to survive of the gentleman who whipped Peter. And if you think about what he went through, it is nothing but an embodiment of his sheer will to survive. This is a triumph. And Africa can do better to celebrate its diaspora, to make life a little easier for those who are left behind. You know, we have brothers and sisters who survived the rough seas, the brutal legacy of slavery, to bring forth the brothers and sisters we have across the world today, in New York, in London, everywhere else. We can do better to make their access to the continent a little easier, as a means to say, listen men, we are sorry about this. But the talking that our leaders keep doing, and instead constantly engaging with the Center-West against the will of most Africans, is something that Africa must speak about, and speak about loudly. We deserve better as Africans on the continent, and as Africans of diaspora, who are our brothers and sisters, who really are out there yearning to return home.
You are breaking the law. They are not subject to any form of harassment, nor must they pay for a residential permit. You are breaking the law.
We paid for the laissez-passer, that's the receipt, but the registration, they took the money with no receipt.
This is the Togo border, and they are telling us that we have to pay $2,000 for each passport, and you don't pay, we are not stamping your passport, and when you stamp your passport, no receipt.
400 years later, and Africans of diaspora and Africans of the continent still have to face these kinds of troubles at the borders is sad. It's sickening. It can't be that we can never get our act together. But then again, I think the typical African leader really can have this done, except for the reason that they're working in cahoots with the center powers of the West to their own gain. Not for the gain of Africans on the continent, certainly not for the gain of our diaspora family that is out there. But it is time that access to motherland is made possible and a lot easier. After all the atrocities that were committed, an apology won't cut it. Good as it may be, an acknowledgement of the wrong, the complicity in this evil trade Our African leaders have got to move an inch more, a mile more.
You don't think we need to change this as Africans?
Change what?
I'm from Ghana, yeah? I'm going to a neighboring country, which is Togo, and I have to pass through so many documentation before I cross.
On your way back,
yeah,
stop by and have this conversation because you will be depressed. I'm telling you.
I'll be depressed going in?
You'll be depressed going from here to cross the Ghana-Togo side and cross the Togo-Benin side and on your way back.
African leaders have got to do more. African Union certainly has got to take charge and make things better for Africa's diaspora and as well as Africans on the continent, because the lack of ease of movement these many years after independence, these many years after the slave trade and its legacy, certainly is something that cannot be accepted.
It tells a pitiful story of who we are, that we can continue blaming colonialists for all we want, but they've been gone for so long. We need to wake up and smell the coffee.
Thank you.
Look, I'm willing to break a few protocols speaking the way I'm doing because it's dear to my heart. I'm a member of the committee that ECOWAS has set up to look at the reparation of stolen goods of Africa. And we had a meeting in Benin. And I went as a guest of ECOWAS. You have no idea. Even as guest of ECOWAS, I thought that we could do better. And we can't do better. The excuses are too much. When they all go and sit down in ECOWAS on our behalf, I expect them to do better than they are doing. I expect our leaders, our presidents, I expect all of you to do better than you're doing. You owe it to us as your citizens, and we are demanding that you do right by us. Pure and simple.
Thank you for this.
Oh, yes. You
because
have
I've been advocating for free movement on Africa for quite a long time.
I mean, look at Europe. Look at Europe. Look at America.
Borderless.
Can you imagine?
51 countries.
And here,
state,
just because I speak a different foreign language, why the heck should the foreign language matter? Just because I can't speak French, they have to terrorize me and make me feel so bad. And just because they can't speak English, we have to terrorize them and make them feel bad. We need to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. This is mental slavery.
I'm good. How about you?
I'm wonderful. We're not wonderful. We're being delayed here at the border, and they're having us come in there. I became a Ghanaian citizen, and I got my ECOWAS card. Now, what are they doing?
Africa needs to sort this border issue once and for all. In this day and age, we can't still be struggling to travel across motherland. Our brothers and sisters who are coming back home to Africa shouldn't be going through this kind of mayhem that we just witnessed with Wode Maya and our black family along the borders of Togo. This is sickening, you know. We've got to fix this, man. Our African leaders have got to account for the role that they need to play and offer leadership. There's so much we need to do. There's so much wealth on the continent. But if we cannot get our act together, then we are missing out. China was a backward nation until the late 1970s. They managed to get themselves back on the saddle, and development in China today is at par with the best in the world. Talk of the US of America, talk of Germany. America today is rattled by China's development, you know. So we've got to get our act together, make the continent home for Africans on the continent, for Africans of diaspora. This is the debt we owe to our brothers and sisters, and talk won't do it. We need to get it done. Not yesterday, not today. It's overdue. If you can connect with this kind of content, then you definitely know what you need to do. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's engage on this journey, one story at a time, to build Africa for Africa and for those who are willing to work and join us. This is definitely Africa, our business. Peace and love. See you again next time. Bye-bye.